All right, y'all, we are back with another video. I definitely had to bring y'all this. Now, this right here is just insane to me. So, Democrats was already trying to plan this where they planned on protesting Charlie Kirk's funeral. And it just don't get no lower than this. What is wrong with these people, man? This right here is just insane, but we're going to expose them because not a lot of them showed up. But just for the simple fact that people can say, okay, I'm going to get up tomorrow and just try to go storm Charlie Kirk's funeral and protest. Like, what is wrong with these people protesting a funeral? This is just insane. Not only that, Scott Jennings absolutely goes off on Jasmine Crockett because, of course, she's spewing hate, calling Charlie Kirk this, calling Charlie Kirk that, just straight lying like they always do. And like I said, Charlie Kirk's wife, she had an amazing speech today. President Trump had an amazing speech. JD Vance and many more had a great speech today, and I'm going to bring that to y'all. And not only that, President Trump and Elon Musk was seen together, talking and stuff like that. And it was like 2 months ago that Charlie Kirk said that President Trump and, Elon Musk was going to reconcile. They was going to start back talking and stuff. And then look what happened. So we definitely about to dive straight into it. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. And shout out to the one that always watches the entire video. I appreciate all of you that do that because it definitely helped get the video out there. And I appreciate everybody who let me know in the comment section that you did stay to the end. And like I said, the ones that come in and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That way I can keep y'all up to date with everything that's going on. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. So as you can see right here on the screen, it's a Democrats are planning on protesting Charlie Kirk's funeral on Sunday in Arizona. And they say the same thing. Who protests a funeral? Like these people are sick. Look at this right here. Say happening now. 4 people remain in this designated protest zone here at the Charlie Kirk funeral. A handful of attendees are interacting with them, encouraging them to find Jesus. Just for them doing it. I'm finna go protest a funeral. Like these people, this is the same crap, that get stuff, that happen to somebody because of the crap that they do. And they still pushing this. Look at this.
It's not about that. If I was rich, if I was giving everything in the world.
Christ loves you. He could take you today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Like, look at these people just sitting in there. Look at this. This is insane. These people have nothing else better to do but saying, I'm going to go to a funeral and still keep spewing hate, still keep spewing lies. While President Trump is in the building and on stage. Like in the stadium. This is insane.
You have the right to an abortion.
Anything other than that?
Speak about the right to
If Jesus loved him, he doesn't have a counter argument for it.
This is crazy. Just absolutely insane. Look at this right. Say the crowd at Charlie Kirk's funeral versus the No King protest. Man. What do you notice? And here go another one right here. It's what you're seeing is the absolute worst that humankind has to offer. People who actually went to a funeral to protest and push their political ideology, the very ideology that is responsible for taking Charlie Kirk's life. These people are disgraceful. That's exactly what I was just saying. Like, look at these people. This is insane. Look at them protesting this man's funeral. And this is what, these Democrats are constantly doing every single day, pushing this crap right here. And like I say, it is just sickening to see. So let's turn this over real quick because I definitely wanted to show y'all that they literally tried to storm the funeral. Literally tried to. So this is what President Trump was saying on stage. That President Trump gives an incredible, powerful tribute to Charlie Kirk. He will live forever. Check out what President Trump said.
Charles, James, Kirk, was heinously murdered by a radicalized, cold-blooded monster for speaking the truth that was in his heart. He was violently killed because he spoke for freedom and justice, for God and country, for reason and for common sense. He was assassinated because he lived bravely, he led boldly, and he argued brilliantly without apology. He did what was right for our nation. And so on that terrible day, September 10th, 2025, our greatest evangelist for American liberty became immortal. He's a martyr now for American freedom. I know I speak for everyone here today when I say that none of us will ever forget Charlie Kirk, and neither now will history. Because while Charlie has been reunited with his Creator in heaven, his voice on earth will echo through the generations, and his name will live forever in the eternal chronicle of America's greatest patriots. He will live forever. To Charlie's incredible and beautiful widow, Erica, we know the weight of this monumental loss is almost unbearable.
Wow. Salute to President Trump, for the words and stuff like that. But he didn't stop. President Trump kept going. When they say President Trump say Charlie Kirk murder was an attack on our entire nation.
And anyone who would, every single American should take a long, hard look at the twisted soul and dark spirit of anyone who would want to kill a young man as good as Charlie. To kill anybody, but to kill a man like this, he didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve this. Our country didn't deserve this. And anyone who would make excuses for it are just out of their mind.
Yep.
Charlie's murder was not just an attack on one man or one movement. It was an attack on our entire nation. That was a horrible attack on the United States of America.
Exactly. Then you got people like Ilhan Omar sitting up here talking about that Charlie Kirk deserved what he got. He's a hateful human being. Just saying all type of crazy stuff. Her, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, all of them. But we're going to get to the video in just a second when Scott Jennings goes off on Jasmine Crockett for what she was saying about, Charlie Kirk. And then they still running with he was racist. Like, get out of here with that. Charlie Kirk was not racist. But this is what they are doing. They on this tour to still keep on smearing this man's name. This is what they doing. And I'm glad President Trump is calling them out.
It was an assault on our most sacred liberties and God-given rights. The gun was pointed at him, but the bullet was aimed at all of us. That bullet was aimed at every one of us. Indeed, Charlie was killed for expressing the very ideas that virtually everyone in this arena and most other places throughout our country deeply believed in. But the assassin failed in his quest because Charlie's message has not been silenced. It now is bigger and better and stronger than ever before, and it's not even close.
Some more kind words, from President Trump about Charlie Kirk. And then he said, President Trump, I call it the radical left. Of course, he goes off on the left because these are the same people that's sitting around, celebrating and cheering that this man was assassinated. So, I'm glad President Trump, took the chance. He thanked Charlie Kirk, praised him, and called out, the left because they are still running around pushing this crap and smearing this man's name while he's gone.
Asked for advice. Charlie replied, the left, I call it the radical left. I call it sometimes the radical left lunatics. But Charlie didn't say that. He called it the left. He was probably right, but I can't help it. I can't help it. So he said the left, radical left lunatics.
He said radical left lunatics. That's exactly what it is. And like I said, I like the way President Trump, we're presenting everything. He was telling stories and stuff like that, about Charlie Kirk and stuff like that. You see right here by Benny said President Trump tells the story of Charlie Kirk giving his life to Christ.
For millions of Americans, especially young people, it is agonizing and unthinkable to say goodbye to a patriot whose heart still had so much to give. It's so much. Raised in the suburbs of Chicago, Charlie was filled with a patriotic spirit from his youth, and he was an all-American in everything he did. And one of the last things he said to me is, please, sir, save Chicago. We're going to do that. We're going to save Chicago from horrible crime.
There we go. There we go.
In high school, he was the quarterback of the football team and the captain of the basketball team. He was a good athlete. A lot of people don't know that about Charlie. He was an Eagle Scout who spent his school lunch breaks listening to another champion for liberty, somebody that he greatly admired, Rush Limbaugh. But what was even more important to Charlie than politics and service was the choice he made in the 5th grade, which he called the most important decision of his life, to become a Christian and a follower of his Savior, Jesus Christ.
There you go. Just amazing, about President Trump. Now, this one right here is exactly what I want to show y'all about Erica Kirk. And like I said before, President Trump and Erica Kirkman is on stage while these people is outside of the stadium protesting. Some of them was trying to come in, but gladly, they got the place, like the stadium, very, very secure and stuff like that, and got police officers outside the door. These people are so rude. It just don't make any sense at all. They're inside the stadium performing on stage, talking, of course, about Charlie Kirk and everything. And you got these protesters sitting out there bashing this man, sitting in the middle of the street. It's like these people are the worst of the worst, man. Worst of the worst. But I do want to let y'all hear this, because say Erica Kirk forgives the man who assassinated her husband. Let's check this out.
He wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man. On the cross, our Savior said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Wow. 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 It's sad, man. And like I said before, put prayers, like I said, for Erica, they 2 kids. Please put rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, down below, in the comment section. But man, it was just sad, because she said she even forgive the young man. Wow, man. And I love what J.D. Vance did too. I want y'all to hear this, because J.D. Vance had an amazing speech as well. Check this out.
Charlie suffered a terrible fate, my friends. We all know it. We all saw it. But think, it is not the worst fate. It is better to face a gunman than to live your life afraid to speak the truth. It is better to be persecuted for your faith than to deny the kingship of Christ. It is better to die a young man in this world than to sell your soul for an easy life with no purpose, no risk, no love, and no truth. Christ told us in the Gospel of John, I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Charlie took heart, and now we must do the same. I've seen so many of you say, so many on social media, talk about for Charlie. We must do this for Charlie. For Charlie, we will speak the truth every single day.
Here we go.
For Charlie, we will rebuild this United States of America to greatness. For Charlie, we will never shrink, we will never cower, and we will never falter, even when staring down the barrel of a gun. For Charlie, we will remember that it is better to stand on our feet defending the United States of America and defending the truth than it is to die on our knees. My friends, for Charlie, we must remember that he is a hero to the United States of America and he is a martyr for the Christian faith. May our Heavenly Father give us the courage to live as Charlie lived. That is what we must do for Charlie. You ran a good race, my friend. I love you. We've got it from here. Thank you.
Wow. Amazing speech from our Vice President, J.D. Vance. Just amazing. Now, I want to turn the tables and get to this woman right here that is study spewing hate. And I want y'all to stick around for this because Scott Jennings is going to turn the table on her. So check this out by Gunther. He said, it's amazing how Dana Bash just let Jasmine Crockett foment political violence for her entire segment today. Just shows that there will be zero unity with these race Marxists. Jasmine couldn't be happier that Charlie was assassinated, and she wants the same for all of us.
Meanwhile, you obviously feel very strongly about the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk used that you find objectionable.
Look at this. Look what Dana Bash is saying. She's starting out with the rhetoric. Look how they already talking.
Objectionable, and also from others in the MAGA movement. As the memorial service for him is going to happen later today, there is a debate over heated rhetoric on all sides. And
listen, whether it's heated or not, the fact is Charlie Kirk should still be here. It should not have been that there was political violence that resulted because of the words that were coming out of his mouth, just like plenty of MAGA hates when I mention white supremacy, which kind of tells you where MAGA stands.
Oh,
but
my
nevertheless,
God.
They get very upset when I talk about white supremacy, but that doesn't mean that somebody should then try to find a bullet or try to find a knife and harm me. Not in America. That's not who we are supposed to be.
Well, let me ask you, because I do want to play a couple of statements that you made earlier this year.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House, and as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States. They want to show that they are loyal to this, I don't even know what to call him. I've called him so many things, but this wannabe Hitler for sure.
Oh, my. See, it's the stuff like that she says, calling President Trump a wannabe Hitler. It's that type of talk is what fuel a lot of these people on the left to do what they're done. So, of course, they tried to assassinate President Trump twice. They just assassinated Charlie Kirk because of the stuff that comes out of people like Jasmine Crockett's mouth, calling President Trump Hitler and Mussolini, all these names.
Where the president has attacked, other people have attacked you in his orbit, maybe not him personally. But do you have a responsibility as an elected official not to raise the temperature, but rather lower the temperature, particularly when there are people out there who listen to elected officials all over the place who are not well, who use that as a way to instigate the political violence that you are calling out?
I think that my responsibility is to be transparent and to be honest. And the reality...
So transparent and honest is calling somebody Hitler? And then you always playing the race game all the time. Oh, they don't let me do this because I'm a black woman. Everything a race thing with her.
Is that we are living in a time in which this administration and this regime is not interested in making sure that people understand history. We need to understand why they are so problematic. And so I am using that language because it is accurate language. When we see the consolidation of power, when we see them trying to chill speech of jokesters, when we're seeing all of this, that is a playbook out of Hitler, and I won't deny it.
Wow.
Like, these are the facts. But one of the things that I've never done that the president has done consistently is called specifically for violence. He has said,
What?
oh, beat that one up. He has said those types of things. We know that Charlie Kirk was saying things about who should live and who should die. I have never said those kinds of things. And
You ain't never said those kind of things. What do you think you be saying every time you call President Trump Hitler? We can read between the lines, ma'am. You know how many times you went to a graduation and said something about throwing chairs? Like, this woman is sitting up here lying. The stuff that comes out of your mouth make people want to go try to shoot somebody and all of that stuff. She's just sitting up here lying and gaslighting like she always do.
I think that those things are the ones that are really, really dangerous. And even still, some of that will still be protected. We know that we still have laws that are on the book that certain speech is not protected, that it does cross over when you are inciting violence, such as what we saw on January 6th. When you are doing what we consider to be a terroristic threat of some sort, where it's a matter of, I'm not just saying it, but I have the apparent ability to carry that out. But me laying out historical facts, just like they don't want to talk about the fact that slavery was real in this country and that my people were enslaved and dragged and raped and abused, and they don't want to account for any of that. They don't believe in reparations. No, I think it is okay for me to understand history and communicate in a very clear way about why we should feel as if there is a concern. And when we swear an oath, which is what that first clip was, we swear an oath to the Constitution to protect against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And so if there is someone that is evidencing themselves, such as the president, who is going out and says, yes, I will take a $400 million plane from a foreign government, or is engaged in receiving crypto that we cannot track in exchange for, say, giving away chips to Saudi Arabia. No, we absolutely need to understand how these things could cause us harm. Or when he's cozying up to somebody like Vladimir Putin, it's not only a problem for us, but it's a problem for our allies. When you have somebody like Poland that is like, yeah, this is what Russia's up to, and the president is like, oh, that may have just been a mistake. We need to understand what all his business dealings are, even with Russia, because that has the potential of putting us in harm's way.
Congresswoman Jasmine.
I mean, nothing but a bunch of lies. A bunch of lies. Now, like I said, though, Scott Jennings fires back on it. And I know that was hard to listen to, and I appreciate everybody who made it through it. But I want y'all to check out what Scott Jennings said. So right now he said, enough. Scott Jennings just said no more. Fires back at Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett, who falsely smeared Charlie Kirk as a racist on the day of his funeral.
The House overwhelmingly passed a resolution on Friday to honor the life and legacy of Charlie Kirk after that assassination last week. The measure passed by 310 to 58. Democrats were heavily split on the issue. The resolution condemns his death and political violence and hails the conservative activist as a courageous American patriot. I want to discuss with CNN senior political commentator Scott Jennings and CNN chief political analyst David Axelrod. Hello to you both. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to start on that resolution because to me it is kind of a window into the way that politicians in both parties are grappling with this moment that we are in, not just leading into the memorial, but the moment after the horrible assassination of Charlie Kirk. Markwayne Mullin was on State of the Union this morning. He is a huge ally of President Trump. He was a friend of Charlie Kirk's. He's going to the funeral today. He brought up with me how upset he was that Democrats voted against that resolution. Afterwards, I spoke to Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas. She was one of the 58 to vote no. Listen to what he said and her reason after that.
The same resolution that had Charlie Kirk's name on, you had 58 representatives vote no, 38 voted present, 22 chose not to vote. That is silent. So you had 118 individuals that didn't condemn it because
Senator,
why?
Get to that,
because of hypocrisy over both sides.
Is when I saw the no votes, there were only 2 Caucasians. For the most part, the only people that voted no were people of color, because the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk continuously put out there was rhetoric that specifically targeted people of color. And so it is unfortunate that even our colleagues could not see how harmful his rhetoric was, specifically to us.
Scott Jennings?
Well, she's lying. I mean, Charlie Kirk targeted nobody. He was not racist in any way. I've listened to hours and hours and hours and hours of Charlie Kirk debates and talks, and have been with Charlie Kirk and did events with Charlie Kirk and knew Charlie Kirk. There wasn't a racist bone in his body. To say that he was continuously targeting people of color is nothing but a malicious smear. On the very day that people are remembering Charlie and he's going to be laid to rest. And so I think we need to combine the no votes on the resolution, and then you look at the leading Democratic voices like Ilhan Omar and Jasmine Crockett, who've gone out to smear Charlie before he's even had his funeral. When I hear people say, well, you need to come together and both sides need to turn down the rhetoric, you know, a lot of the people saying that need to look inward right now. I was shocked at that. Well, I guess I shouldn't say I'm shocked by her, but I was a little stunned by what happened this morning.
And then you can see Scott Jennings, you know, he said Dems are trying to both sides the Charlie Kirk assassination by pointing out that Governor Shapiro's house was burned down. And how you gonna blame it on MAGA? You can't blame it on Trump supporters. Where's the proof that a Trump supporter did that? These people are crazy. They're just one detail they're leaving out. It was a Free Palestine leftist that did it. See what I'm saying? So last thing I want to share with y'all right here is that this was Charlie Kirk on Elon Musk. And you can obviously right here, Elon Musk came to the funeral and stuff like that. Him and President Trump, like I said, I don't know if they back talking, but they did. They did come together today and talk. And check out what Charlie Kirk said 2 months ago about Elon Musk and President Trump. You know, pretty much, putting their differences to the side and coming back together. Check out this.
Yeah, it's been hard to watch today and unfortunate in some regards. And I love your take, which is both of these men deserve great credit for their contributions to help save civilization. Elon Musk bought Twitter, which of course became X a couple years ago, which liberated speech. And then, of course, President Trump built the most amazing political movement we've ever seen. He was shot, almost shot again. He was impeached twice. He was facing 700 years in federal prison. And he was so clear about not surrendering and not backing down and not giving up. I will say it's a tough thing to watch, this public feud. I actually think they're going to reconcile at some point, though, because deep down, I would like to believe they both want the same thing.
And think about that. And then they both come together, as you can see right here in the photo of President Trump and Elon Musk talking. And you can see right here, it said, holy crap, practically every member of President Trump's cabinet is in the front row of Charlie Kirk's memorial. Hegseth, Rubio, Bundy, Duffy, McMahon, RFK Jr., and more. Wow. Just truly amazing.
Saved our president, President Trump, from an assassin's bullet for this moment.
Wow. So there you go right there. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this. Thank you all for watching, especially the ones that made it to the end. And like I said, I'm going to try my best to keep y'all up to date as more information come out. But like I said before, please put rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. Please put prayers for his family, his wife Erica, their 2 kids down below in the comment section. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.